I think the looming policy issue is the tax cuts, right? I mean, the Trump tax cuts will expire. I think both parties and both presidents, whoever it is, will extend those tax cuts in some way, shape, or form. How much of the burden falls on the very wealthy and how much of the burden falls on sort of upper middle class. I think that's the big question. And I'm not sure Harris has persuaded those people who you might call, wealthy, but don't think of themselves as wealthy. And if they're worried that their taxes will go up, that's that sort of suburban voter sweet spot that Biden managed to get in 2020. And that's, I think, who she's struggling with now.
What's the timeline for Wendy Schiller this close to the actual election? Or should we be anticipating big events by the two candidates, or is that time gone?
No, I mean, I think Trump certainly, I remember this with Mitt Romney, too, in 2012. The crowd size grew and grew towards the end of the election cycle. And that could either be really great enthusiasm for Trump or an idea by some of the people in his fan base that he may lose. So they want to see him one last time. So I have no idea what accounts for that growth in size. But, each campaign must believe this is neck and neck, because they are, traipsing across the entire country, continuing to try to win votes up until the very last minute, which means their internal polling, I would suspect, tells them that it is really neck and neck and based on turnout.
Are we going to wake up Wednesday morning, Professor, and know who the president is?
I think if Trump sweeps, if the polls really are still underestimating Trump by about 3 percentage points, then he's likely to tilt all the swing states in his direction. And I think we're going to get signs of that by Wednesday morning. I'm just not sure the results will be certified. Certainly Pennsylvania, they take a while. Arizona takes a while. Michigan says it's going to take a while. So I think it might be a while before it's all certified. But if he really has big leads before the mail-in ballots are counted and they look insurmountable, I think we're going to have a pretty good idea. But I don't think Harris will win that way. So if she wins, I think it's going to be more narrow, and it may take a couple of days to determine that.
If it's more narrow for the Harris campaign, is it fair to assume that the Trump campaign will look to block and look to sue and look to really challenge to the nth degree?
Yeah, well, they did it in 2020, right? I think nearly 60 court cases. So yeah, they'll be challenging every step of the way. And there are a lot more Biden federal district court judges than there used to be. But there's still a combination going all the way back to Bush, Clinton, Obama, Trump, and Biden judges in the federal system. They all rejected, accusations of, electoral misdeeds or vote counting misdeeds. So at least enough to swing the election. So I think certainly the Trump campaign will contest. He never conceded the 2020 defeat. So we can expect that all the way through January 20th if it turns out that Kamala Harris is certified and has won the Electoral College.